is your First Alert Weather Breakdown, a deep dive into how weather works with meteorologist Evan Thomason.
Welcome into the First Alert Weather Breakdown. I'm meteorologist Evan Thomason. Thank you very much for joining us here for the day today, and it is Friday. Hey, hopefully you're having a good one. Hopefully you're getting excited. I wouldn't be this excited if we didn't have a good weather weekend ahead for you, which is exactly what we have. We have plentiful sunshine, blue skies out for you all weekend long. You got a barbecue, you've got outdoor plans, you've got a soccer game to go to, whatever you got to do outdoors, even just exercise and having a good walk around for the weekend. Do it. Make the most of this weekend. And I'm not just trying to get out of just getting outside and enjoying the weather, the amazing sunshine and blue skies. The point is, enjoy it while it lasts. We have storms coming back next week, which could affect the following weekend as well. Right now we're getting a lot of signals that are indicating that we're building the chance of storms essentially during next work week, and hefty ones at that, which is good news and bad news. It's good news for the drought. Burn bans as well have been in place across many different parishes and counties across the Arklatex. Bad news because some of that system could be bringing us chances of severe weather as well, which we're going to be tracking out now on the First Alert Weather Breakdown. So essentially you could say that we have almost two different sides to a forecast here for you. We've got the ample sunshine and blue skies across the weekend, but we are also tracking out storms next week. That's all on your full weather forecast here in this First Alert Weather Breakdown. So, hey, sit tight. Grab some popcorn if you want to. Hey, whatever weekend snack. Hey, you are celebrating that you are close to the weekend. But again, we're mainly using this weather breakdown as well to go thoroughly over the chance of storms next week, which is going to make my job a lot more on the busy side of things, and you want to make sure you're weather aware along the way here once we pretty much turn the page into next week. Rest assured through the weekend again, though. All right, so let's go over it all in the full weather forecast here for you. Here's our weather headlines. We got ample sunshine essentially today and through the weekend. Next 3 days. Got any plans late tonight, Saturday, all day Sunday? Good to go. But then we get into the second half of our main weather story, which is talking about storms happening throughout next work week. Yes, throughout. I think I have at least a chance for storms every single day between Monday and Friday and through next week. There are some days, though, that have greater chances for storms than others. That's what we're going to get into, essentially, here in the next little bit. Let's go over temperatures first, because this is the easier side of the forecast to go over. Highs today, up into the upper 70s, lower 80s. Currently, temperatures are pretty much around the 60s here for you. Nice and comfortable still now and throughout the day today here for the most part. But just so you know, highs on Wednesday, still in the upper 70s and lower 80s. I know it just jumped way ahead all the way into the middle of next week, but that's the point. The temperatures aren't changing that much, which is honestly seems like a weird phenomenon because usually our temperatures are going up and down all over the place over the past couple of weeks, but this looks to be an actual steady temperature outlook here for us. I mean, ever since Wednesday, we've had temperatures for the past 2 days getting up into the upper 70s, lower 80s, and the same thing goes in store here for Friday. If anything, maybe up into the mid-80s for the weekend, but I think you get the point. We're stuck in the lower 80s here for the foreseeable future. High still around Tuesday, around 80 degrees. If anything's changing with the temperatures, it's going to be the mornings. We saw that in between yesterday morning and this morning here for you. But temperatures in throughout the weekend, you're waking up to in the 50s. That's similar to what you woke up to this morning. And that's going to continue at least into Monday before temperatures will be on the rise a little bit for those mornings, a little more into the 60s there for the middle of this next week. So a lot more comfortable mornings, and we might be done with the heavy coat for good. I mean, we're 2 days left into February, and we're about to head into March. Guys. Now, let's talk about what's going on with the skies. First, for the short term. The short term is looking great for plans across the weekend. That's because we have a nice high-pressure system on top of us. Hey, that's going to be your best friend here through the weekend because that's going to keep everything clear. We do have a low-pressure center out in the West Coast starting to pop on through over the weekend, though. This is what we're going to be watching out for heading into next week here, but it just rolls into the West Coast across the weekend. But here in the Arklatex, we're getting some sinking air, which is always what high-pressure systems always give us, but that always equals sunshine and warm temperatures here for you. You need rising air from the surface, getting the moisture out of the surface, rising that aloft, and that forces any chance for storms and Good thunderstorms at that, too. So let's go over the future track here for you. In the short term, it's looking good. All right, through Friday, Saturday, also Sunday, no chance of rain. Rest assured. The only thing to watch out for, if anything, is just a little bit of cloud cover. It looks like rolling through on Sunday. A little more cloud cover for you then. And then you see for the start of Monday, a little more cloud cover starting to appear into next week. That leads into our second half of our story and our second half of our 7-day forecast, which, again, all revolves around rain. So, again, everything in the short term through the weekend is fine. It's once we get into next week that we deal with the storms. I feel like I keep reiterating this, but that's what I want you to get in the back of your mind. Essentially, get yourself on the right mindset, especially once you get out into Monday and be like, okay, so this is when I need to stay weather aware. This is when I need to pay attention to when storms are actually affecting my plans here for you. Because we are unfortunately pretty much under the bullseye from the Climate Prediction Center for getting rain next week. That's essentially what this means. We have a great chance of getting storms, and kind of the timeline on what I'm watching out for as of right now. I know this is a big timeline, but this is still way into the future. And to be fair, this also indicates that I truly believe multiple rounds of storms are going to come on through somewhere between Wednesday through the following weekend, Sunday, not this coming Sunday, as we just discussed. This weekend is fine. It is next weekend, the weekend after this, on the 7th and 8th, that we're watching out for continuous storms as well. Multiple rounds of rain, which, let's talk good news. Rain. That's what we need. Not only this, look at the snapshot on this weather maker. We're seeing lots of shades of orange and red. That is actually good, sustainable rainfall totals. That's what we need to cure us out of our drought, our wildfire problems, which could still last into the weekend a little bit because of how incredibly dry our soil is. And we're just getting ample rainfall continuously coming on in. It's finally going to rid us of our burn bans. That's what I was looking for. So that's what we're watching out for. That's good news. Bad news is the second bullet point. That's coming with severe weather, as it often does. We're watching out for a chance of severe weather anywhere between any of those rounds that are coming on through as well for the end of next work week to the following weekend too. And then the third bullet point here for you. The timing of everything coming on through is uncertain. That's the big question mark, and that's what I think is going to be determined once we get physically to Monday of next week. Then I think we can lay out, okay, when are these actual multiple rounds of storms coming on through? That's going to be answered probably early next week, because as of right now, different weather models are posing different answers for when exactly certain rounds of storms are going to come on through. So here is one check of the long-range future track. Again, reassuring you that everything for the next 3 days is nice and dry. But then you turn the page into next week. Once we get into Monday and Tuesday, I think Monday and Tuesday are still mostly dry. But we might catch in on a few incredibly light drizzles, light rain showers. You see this extremely light shade of green, just indicating maybe the slimmest chance of some stray showers, stray light drizzles coming in through the day on Tuesday after a mostly dry Monday. Then we get into Wednesday and Thursday, and you see these darker greens and yellows starting to come on in. That indicates more heavier rainfall, more batches of thunderstorms that could form somewhere around the middle to late part of next week. So that's what we're watching out for. And the thing that's got my eye personally is something that the National Weather Service did early this morning. This is already a severe weather risk. And keep in mind, this is still 5 days away. This is for Wednesday storms. The National Weather Service has already issued a slight risk of severe weather across mostly the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area up into southern Oklahoma. But this does include northeast Texas and southeastern Oklahoma as well. And those storms, as we typically get during springtime, they go from west to east. So we don't have any severe weather risk in place yet for next Thursday, but I think you see the point. I think you see the right mindset you need to get yourselves into is not just watching out for any kinds of storms showing up here in the middle of next week, but severe ones at that. So that's what we're going to be tracking out, again, in the middle to late part of next week. And the fact that the National Weather Service already put that out, again, 5 days in advance, indicates we're starting to get a lot more certainty in these growing thunderstorms and this growing severe weather risk. So here for the weekend, beautiful sunshine, blue skies, not an issue with the wet weather. It's not until we get into next week. 7-day forecast here for you. Friday, here for today, 80 degrees, plenty of sunshine all weekend long. It is looking fantastic. Then you get into Monday and Tuesday. That's kind of the transitional days is what I want to call them, because we're going from warm and dry to still warm. If you notice, high temperature still on Wednesday and Thursday. If you show you the full 7-day forecast here, highs on Wednesday and Thursday are still getting to the lower 80s. So the high temperature doesn't really change even with the rain around. Yet that's what we're going to be tracking out for mostly. And the biggest change heading into the next week is we get more substantial and a greater chance of a round of widespread storms showing up here, especially once we get into Wednesday and Thursday of next week. And that's what we're going to be tracking out for. That's what this first look with a breakdown is also good for, to go more in depth onto those severe storms as well. So that's what I'm watching out for. That's what my thoughts are on heading into kind of the middle of next week. I know it's still far away. In fact, we could still be dry here still for the next 4 to 5 days, which could leave our burn ban. Burn ban's still definitely in place here for the next 3 to 4 days. I will say the only thing that's helping us out with the fire weather here in the short term is that the winds haven't been as bad. They've been a lot more on the calm side of things. You really need strong winds to help kind of amplify and help spread wildfires out. But even with how dry the soil is and how dry our atmosphere is, I mean, it's a difficult situation for many of our firefighters out there. Most of our news, obviously with KSLE News 12, throughout this entire work week has been kind of surrounding around wildfires being sparked and growing in different portions of our region. So please be careful. We do get our healthy dose of rainfall, but again, it comes with severe weather. So please stay weather aware, especially in the middle to late part of next week. We're going to have so many more details on this on our podcast again next week. It's going to be same time, same place, 10:30 on weekdays. Hopefully on my goal is hopefully on Monday's forecast, we're going to get better on the timing of how everything comes on through, because everything's kind of vague. Again, it's just middle to late part of next week, maybe even the following weekend. Let's nail down the more specifics and the timings once we get into next week. But for now, hey, enjoy your beautiful weekend. We'll see you on 10:30 Monday next week to go more in depth onto how those storms are looking. Later next week, meteorologist Jake Lambright will be your host at 10:30 on Monday next week. As for me, hey, I'm meteorologist Evan Thomason. Thank you very much for watching this live stream. I hope you had a great time. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. Make the most of it, obviously, before the rain comes on in. Have a great rest of your day. Hey, again, Monday, 10:30. Be there, be square, and most importantly, stay weather aware. Have a great weekend. See ya.